What's up, everybody? Welcome, MLB Dfs pre-lock live. Pete Cole here. I am solo today, so you're just gonna be able to see my face, which is all right because we can run through this a little bit quicker because we got a lot to talk about. But first of all, thefielderschoice.com, we have that deal still going 6 months, the first 6 months, $35 a month. That includes every sport. All sports, we do every single sport under the sun. All sports at DK and FanDuel offers. Also, at WNBA is starting in less than 2 weeks. I think the 14th it starts. Our man Walt Riddell, who you all know from college basketball and college hoops, will be doing WNBA. So look forward to that. For all you hoop guys, he did it last year for us, very successful. So he'll probably be doing some shows with me once that starts, like we did college hoops. So we got some good things ahead. But tonight we got a mess, actually. So let's get the weather out of the way first. The Coors game is canceled. The Giants and Rockies crossed that out, done. Now we just found out the Dodgers and Cubs are canceled. I was really looking forward to using those Dodgers today against Kyle Hendricks. So you can cross that out. And now what do we got? I think a 10-game slate. I'm even confused now. But it looks like the only other game that we want to worry about, especially for cash games, is Milwaukee, Philadelphia. The latest I'm seeing is there's nothing on the radar now, but it looks like something's definitely going to hit there. And there's a legit chance they get rained out regardless. Cash game or safe play, no way, but possibly use it for GPPs. All right, and Mets St. Louis, there's a chance for delay a late start, but nothing worse. Looks like that game may play, so I may be switching some of my ownership in player likes to the Cardinals and Mets game. So I guess we'll see. I'm kind of like, as we're talking here, I'm going to be kind of like learning now myself because most of the players I had in my top plays in my early lineups were from the Colorado game and Dodger game. So I guess we're all in this together here. So let's just start pitching. Right off the bat, Tyler Glasnow is going tonight. He's our SP1. Don't overthink this, especially now Bueller out. I'm imagining Glasnow is going to be probably 90% owned SP1. And as you're on FanDuel, no way around it. The kid's just a good pitcher. I think it's like a 39% strikeout rate. I mean, it's not the greatest matchup now. He's going against the Angels. I mean, they are one of the lowest strikeout teams in the league. But the Angels lineup out yet? The latest I looked at wasn't. It was Ohtani was scratched. He was supposed to be pitching on the other side of the game. Now it's Quintana. Nope, still not out. I'm curious to see if Ohtani's bat. If Ohtani isn't in the game, it definitely adds an upgrade to Glasnow. But even with a tough Angels lineup, Glasnow is far and away the best pitcher on the slate. So the big question is going to come down to tonight is who you're using for SP2 and cash. Our cheat sheet has been updated. Our YFC cheat sheet is updated like 2 or 3 minutes ago. If you look at that right now, the ownership is pointing toward Kenta Mieta for Minnesota at 31%. Dean Kramer, who's down there at 21%. There's no way I'm going to use Dean Kramer in a cash game, but and it's still showing Bueller the game because the Dodgers got canceled. So I think you go 2 ways here in cash. You either go to Mieta, who is a big question mark right now. Last year he was pretty much untouchable. This is a guy who had a K rate last year, like 32%. This year he's just struggling. His K rate is at 17.9 for his first 5 starts. He's had problems, especially with the long ball. He's been hit hard this year. He's given up 6 home runs in his last 2 starts. Not good. But he isn't a good matchup today. He's in a matchup today against Texas, so he should get some strikeouts there. There's a lot of strikeouts in that Texas lineup, but it's no matter how you look at it, it's iffy. So if you don't like Mieta, to me, I may end up going all the way down to this kid at 4K, Daniel Lynch for Kansas City. So it is out. No Tany's batting second. Okay. So this Daniel Lynch, I've been digging all day trying to figure out if there's anything I can find out how long he's going to go. One thing about Kansas City, they don't usually use these relief type games. They get a pitcher going. He's usually stretched out. He's going to go as long as he can, which is good news. This kid Lynch is good. He's a lefty. He's from that 2018 draft class that brought up Brady Singer, Chris Bubik, and Kyle Isbell. And actually, Lynch is the top guy in that class. He's a better prospect than Brady Singer, better than Bubik, all those guys. Right now, he's their top prospect. He throws heat. He throws 99 miles an hour. He's got 3 really good off-speed pitches. He's a big kid. He's at 6'7". They are looking. I mean, the comments I'm seeing has got loud stuff in the mid 90s up to 99. So they have a lot going on this kid, and they actually brought him up today because they think he can go. Junis isn't pitching well. Actually, he took Junis' turn in rotation. Keller struggled against Sunday. Brady Singer's day to day. So this kid's coming up here to pitch. So if we can get 6 innings out of this kid at 4K, that's kind of like looking at a 4K outfielder. If we can get 10 points out of him, I'm fine with it. So I'm just not sure, as I haven't been through the lineup yet, do we need that value with all these cancellations? Now there's no bets in the lineup. There's no big Colorado bats. So I'm not sure if we need it or not. But I think you either go Lynch or you go up to take a chance Maeda. But both of them are kind of taking chances because we've never seen this kid Lynch before. Kansas City media is all over it because it's something new. He's a prospect, and he's supposedly pretty good. So I guess we will see how it goes. But I think they're your 2 SP choices. And Jeremy Burton's made a comment, and I'm glad you said that because I had a note I didn't say it, that the wind is blowing in 13 miles an hour. So that's also a plus for Lynch tonight. I'm telling you this, Maeda scares me. We saw him in that game against Oakland. He got bombed. He's getting hit with a long ball. He's getting hit hard, but we've all seen in the past how good Maeda's been. So I'm curious to see the last update of the cheat sheet where Maeda's going to be compared to Lynch, because I think Lynch is going to catch some more ownership now. No more Bueller going, and with 2 games canceled. Anything for GPP pitchers, really? I had Marquez. He's obviously out now. No more Kyle Hendricks. Dinelson Lamet is not. He got pulled now. We're going this kid Miguel Diaz. He's getting the ball, but I don't believe Diaz is going to go more than a couple innings. He's not like Lynch, so I wouldn't be playing him at 4K. If you can do anything, you play Lynch. Frankie Montas, I guess. He's probably a decent start. Wainwright, I guess. I mean, Wainwright's actually his best K percentage of his career right now. But everybody's questionable here. So SP2 is going to take a chance. Right now, I'm probably looking at Lynch. If not, it's going to be Maeda. So Stephen Foster said, you're in Kansas City. There you go. And I mean, he's a big deal in Kansas City for everything I'm reading. So I would say right now, I mean, I'd probably even take Montas over Maeda, the way I'm looking at things. But any questions on pitching? It's pretty cut and dry with Glasnow. And then your SP2 is going to be a chance. So now, all the studs are out. I mean, maybe Steven Matz, but I would say only GPP. I wouldn't be getting too crazy about Steven Matz. Anybody else I'm missing? I guess Jose Quintana at 7K. I guess you can possibly look at him just because of the Rays are not hitting. The Rays do have, though, 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 righties in the lineup today against Quintana. So if I'm doing anything, I'm probably stacking against Quintana. But I got a feeling you're going to see Quintana a little bit ownership in cash because the Rays just aren't hitting right now. Okay, we can jump right to catcher then. There's no other questions on pitcher. Once again here, I was all over Will Smith. And Will Smith's out. Dom Nunez is out. Who else do we have left here now? We got Sal Perez up top. I mean, he's been crushing the ball. He's been crushing righties. Savali's actually been getting hit harder righties. He's actually getting up 260 ISO to righties, while Sal is banging out a 333 ISO. So, but it's a big spot. You got to pay up. No more Will Smith. So probably the play of the day right now is going to be Sean Murphy for Oakland. I mean, he continues to crush Is Oakland lineup out yet? Yes, and Sean Murphy's batting third. Great spot for Murphy at 4-4. So right now, yeah, looks like Murphy is your play at catcher. He's got 385 ISO, 351 Woba to left-handers. Matz is a left-hander, and Matz allows the exact same numbers to right-handed bats. So right now, Sean Murphy at 4-4 is your top play at catcher, no doubt. For you want to punt it, this kid Bent Vet for Minnesota. I played him actually the other day, and he got a hit and I think a walk. He's batting again today against Dane Dunning. Got the positive platoon batting ninth. You can get him for 2-1. Is Milwaukee out yet? I'm assuming Nottingham's batting again today. No, Luke Molly's back. Okay, never mind. So you can knock Nottingham out. So right now, I think you're going on Ben Ward Vet, or you got Sean Murphy in a really good spot batting third for catcher. All right, going to first base. Right, looking at the recent cheat sheet. Right now, it's got Kirilloff as your top owned. You can play Kirilloff at first, or you can play him in the outfield. I'm probably going to play him somewhere today. I'm just going to keep playing the kid until he goes back into a slump. And he's crushing the ball. Right now, Kirilloff's got 4 home runs and 40 plate appearances. He's still only 2.9. The wind is still blowing out in Minnesota, right? Earlier today, I had it blown out. Yep, still blowing out at 17 miles an hour. Good spot for Kirilloff, batting fifth against Dane Dunning, lefty versus righty at 2.9. If you want to put Kirilloff in the outfield, because I would say play him somewhere today, we got Pete Alonso. Alonso and Goldschmidt are your 2 top plays up top. Goldie has owned lefties in his career, 267 ISO, and Lucchese definitely gives up hard contact. I like Goldschmidt better than Alonso, but Alonso is another play up there. I mean, definitely could be a cash play. So yeah, Alonso, Kirilloff, or Goldie's. Take your pick. Alonso, Kirilloff, Goldie about the same. Kirilloff is your value. Anybody else? Jose Marmolejos is a cheapie. You can possibly use him tonight for the Mariners. He's batting fifth against Dean Kramer, who's a gas can, lefty on righty. Good spot tonight. So if you don't, for some reason you want to use your Kirilloff in the outfield and still want to go value, I guess it'd be probably Marmolejos. There's nobody else there I really think you need to have at first base. With Max Muncy not playing now. Yandy Diaz is batting cleanup today for Tampa Bay. I keep forgetting he's considered a first baseman, right? So he's batting cleanup against Quintana, a 3-3. I'd rather use Kirilloff, really. That'd be GPP play on me. Yeah, Toronto Oakland is a really good game stack. That's probably one of my favorite game stacks actually today. Going around to second base right now, Luis Arias, I mean, there's nobody really high owned. The highest we got on our cheat sheet, 16%. So I really don't consider anybody high owned here. Arias is always going to get some ownership. Now without a Dodger game, Witt is always a good play up top. I don't think you need to plan today. I kind of like Jeff McNeil at 4-6. He had a big 4 hits last night. Should remain hot against Wainwright. Let me just make sure McNeil's in the lineup. I'm assuming, right? There you go. He's leading off. Lead off against Wainwright, lefty versus righty. I would lock McNeil in at 4-6. Colton Wong still hitting well. On FanDuel, he's way too cheap in a good matchup. So maybe on FanDuel, you go to Colton Wong. Yeah, I'd probably go to Wong on FanDuel because he's so cheap. But I think Jeff McNeil's in a really good spot today. McNeil is a streaky hitter. You can probably go. No, FanDuel go McNeil too. McNeil's only 2.5. So there we go. So on FanDuel and DK on cash, I would go McNeil both spots. We got Brad Miller at 3-4. If you want to go cheaper, I guess you can look at Brad Miller. I've always been a Miller guy, batting second against Hauser, lefty versus righty. And if that game goes, which it's looking, and maybe some blades, looks like it's going to go. Miller's a good spot at 3-4. So don't sleep on Miller. But my favorite play is going to be Jeff McNeil at 4-6. Yeah, and at FanDuel, you can play Miller first on FanDuel also, 2-7. So any questions on first base, second base? Pretty much I'm just talking cash here, and we'll do GBPs in a second. And I apologize if I'm sounding confused, but I got a lot of these Dodgers on my list here in Colorado games. So, all right, moving to third base. Now we're talking cash here, looking at Devin's cheat sheet, which has just been updated about 5 minutes ago. The top third baseman is J-Ram on DK, and FanDuel is J-Ram against the kid. So if you're using Lynch, obviously you're not using J-Ram in cash. If you're not using Lynch, I probably would go to J-Ram, especially on FanDuel. He's looking at 27% on FanDuel. Donaldson's right up there with him, about 23%. And on DK, you got a whole bunch of them, around 15%. Ramirez, Brocio, Yanni Diaz, Seager. On DK, if I had the money, I'm looking at Machado right now at 5K. I'm big on Machado tonight, especially now no Justin Turner. Tyler Anderson's been pitching pretty well for Pittsburgh. So if I'm running a bunch of lineups, I'm going to make sure I get Tyler Anderson in a game. But Machado can handle Tyler Anderson. We all know he hits lefties at an elite level. 421 WOBA, 319 ISO since 2019. That's elite numbers against lefties. Just roll Machado if you have the money. On FanDuel, same thing. Machado's only 3.6. I like Kyle Seager for Seattle. Probably be more of a GPP play. He's been solid against righties this year. 273 ISO, 357 WOBA, 48% hard contact is more important than anything. And now you got Dean Kramer, who gives up 58% hard contact. So Seager's definitely a play. I'd probably look at Seager more as a GPP play, but if you want to use him in cash, I'm not going to argue against it. Anybody else now with all these cancellations? I guess you can look at Travis Shaw for Milwaukee, coming in at 3.5. That's probably your top value at third. On DK, now on FanDuel, you can get Matt Chapman for 3.1. So probably on FanDuel, I'm running Chapman. On DK, if I want to go low, I'm going to go to Shaw, but I'm going to do everything I can to get that Machado Tatis combination today, now that Seager and Turner are out. Okay, so and at least we got a good chat going here today, guys. Thanks. That actually helps a lot, this chat. We got a good group going here today. So shortstop, it's all about Tatis. When I play cash, if San Diego's in a good spot, which they are in today against Anderson, I like to mini stack Machado and Tatis. And today it's almost like I don't have to think about it today because no more Seager, no more Turner. I'm just going to roll Tatis. Like Machado, Tatis crushes lefties his whole career. He's got 8 homers, 5 stolen bases already this year. Just lock in Tatis and move on. I don't even look at anybody else on both these for cash. On GPPs, yeah. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways you can go. We can go actually for shortstop GPPs, you got Rosario for Cleveland possibly. I mean, we're not even talking about Toronto, but Bo Bichette, GPP play, JP Crawford for Seattle. But just lock into Tatis and move on. One name I just popped in my head before I forget, a catcher. Since Will Smith stopped playing in Colorado, I didn't mention is Austin Nola's back tonight at 4.3. He's the same price as Sean Murphy. I hate to go back to catcher, but Austin Nola did really well last year. Remember, he was in Seattle. He came to San Diego later in the year. Nola's a big time. He's also a reverse splits hitter, but Nola's in the equation too at 4.1. I probably like Murphy a little bit better, but if you want to like mini stack San Diego, especially a wraparound because Nola's batting 7 tonight, you could possibly wrap around Nola batting 7 and get to like a Tatis Machado or Trent Grisham leading off. All right, so you also have Austin Nola catching today too. It's part of the conversation. Paul DeDong, Chris Duffy said, yeah. I mean, I'm glad you said that. But DeJong is a GPP play. He's boom or bust. He's got 6 home runs this year. He's got a batting average of 172. So he's got a tiny little bat bip. So you're going to see his average go up a little bit. But that's a good call, Chris, for GPP plays, definitely. And I like this. I do like this Cardinal game. That's a good call. I guess you got Jorge Polanco there. One other name, Freddie Galvis. Freddie Galvis is also in play too at shortstop for GPPs, definitely. For Baltimore and that Baltimore-Oakland game. All right, so that just brings us to the outfield. Right now, so is Chris Yelich playing? Now that Milwaukee is out, is Yelich back? Yelich is batting third. I'm not a Chris Yelich guy in DFS. I like him in real life, but he's in a really good spot today against Vinny Velasquez. Yelich is a lefty. He crushes righties. Velasquez is just a mediocre pitcher. Actually doing better this year than he's been the last couple of years. But Yelich in a really good spot. Yeah, and Jeremy, I think Freddie Galvis is in a great spot today, especially when he's facing a righty, right? Yeah, Freddie's a switcher. He's facing a righty. So Galvis is a home run waiting to happen today, such for GPPs. All right, so back to with Yelich starting today, and Yelich always catches ownership. A lot of his name only, but he is in a good spot. I hate to play guys in the first game back. Especially, but today though, with all these big bats are out now. There's no Mookie, there's no Colorado. Outfield's going to get a little funky today. So, now talking cash here, probably Yelich probably is a top cash play, I would say. I'm looking at Cardinals though. I'm looking at Dylan Carlson. I'll play Dylan Carlson every day until he drops in that order. Carlson to me is just an above average hitter. He's still kind of an unknown, but I think they're the best hitters on that team. And then you forget about Tyler O'Neill, who is even cheaper. He's got 7 hits in his last 14 at-bats. So I like O'Neill. I like Dylan Carlson. We can use Alex Kirilloff. You can make an outfield of Kirilloff, Carlson, O'Neill, and then go up with Alonso or Goldie at first. You're almost you have a single stack there too. But Yelich can play. Michael Conforto at 3.8. Definitely a play. Woke up fine last night. Conforto streak. He looks like he's going to start hitting now. Put Conforto in play. Oh, my other play is Will Myers. Will Myers is probably my favorite play today in the outfield. If I can get him at a 5K, Myers definitely smokes left-handers. 389 WOBA, 303 ISO, and I think he's going to come in low on tonight. Will Myers is my favorite outfielder. Yeah, Haniger GBP. I even think Mitch Haniger is a good cash play actually. So you can run Haniger and cash, no doubt. Tommy Edman. I mean, all the Cardinals tonight. Where's Edman batting tonight? Edman leading off. Edman's price actually has went down. He's down on a 4-4. Yep. So Tommy Edman's in play. The problem is with cash, you don't want to get locked in like 5 Cardinals here. So you kind of got to make a stand. Who do you want to play? Like you can probably play Goldie, and then maybe I'd probably play Carlson as O'Neill's batting 6th. But maybe I didn't even mention Arenado, but he's in play. I probably put no more than like 3 Cardinals in cash today. I don't like playing too many times playing 4 guys, but all those guys are definitely in play. Who else we got here in cash? I didn't mention Benintendi. Played him Saturday at that double dong at 3-0. He's in play. Avisail at 3-1's in play. Now I'm probably naming too many names for you guys, but I got Willie Calhoun. Here's another thing. I didn't realize Willie Calhoun's on 9-game hit streak. I didn't realize that until I was researching today. He's got 5 hits in his last 2 games and 342 against righties if you're not using Mayetta. So that's the big decision you got to make today. Are you going to play Mayetta or Lynch? If you're going to play Lynch, you're going to have room for the Goldschmidts, the Yelichs, the Tatises, the Machados, all those guys. If you go Mayetta, you can probably get the drop 1 or 2 bats. And I really can't tell you which way to go. The smart thinking, the cash player thinking is probably going to say Mayetta, just because we don't know much about Lynch. But I'm intrigued with this kid. We used McClanahan last week, and he did his job for us. What he gets, 15 DK points. He was more than 4K, and he's another guy throwing 99 to 100. So it's a tough one, but I got a feeling when we do that last ownership update, you're going to see much more than 8% we're seeing now. If we get more than 9 points on Lynch, we're winning here. And then you got Glasnow, which we should be getting 30. All right, just to run through quick. Eric said, who's the Freddie call? That was Freddie Galvis, the shortstop. As a GPP play. Let me just run through positions really quick again, but I know I said it fast. So we're looking at pitcher, we're looking at Glasnow, what I think either Lynch / Maeda, and I'm even thinking Montas is in a situation. Maeda's going to be massive chalk. It's a small slate. That's why I can see people starting to go toward a Montas. His Ks are up. Or I said using a Lynch. Catcher, we're looking at Sean Murphy now, or you can drop all the way down to the kid from Minnesota as your punt, or maybe even Noah. First base, we got Kirilloff as your value. If you don't want to go value, I would say you go up to Goldie or Alonso. Second base is a mess. I would make second my last spot, but I think Jeff McNeil's the top play on FanDuel and DK. Third base shortstop, I think you got to lock in Tatis and Machado in cash games. And then outfield, it's pretty much a free-for-all in the outfield. Somebody just mentioned Haniger as GBP. Haniger is a great cash play also. I didn't even mention these Twins. The problem is they're expensive, but if you're going to use Lynch, we got these Twins with wind going out 17 miles an hour against Gunning, especially Nelson Cruz, Buxton batting third. I did mention Kirilloff, but you got the Twins outfield. You got Yelich. Another name is Franmil Reyes, who's back playing today. If you're not playing Lynch, a righty, he crushes lefties. This is a game Franmil Reyes can hit a home run indefinitely. And the thing is, with the Lynch, we don't know how far he's going to go. He may get pulled up to the second inning, but historically, looking at the Royals organization, is they don't usually mess with pitchers like that. If they think he's ready to go, they're going to throw him out there. We've seen it this year, even with Junis and who else, Bubik, where they've gotten beat up the first 2 innings and they kept them in. And I know as I used them and I paid for it, but they've kept in fighting 5-6 innings. So that's one thing I do like about the Royals. You kind of have an idea where they're going. And I think that's probably it going around. Like I said, I like the Cardinals today. I like that. I like O'Neill. I like Carlson. I like Goldie. I like Edman. I like the Mariners. I wrote that up as our GP article today as one of my favorite stacks, just because I'm definitely not a Dean Kremer guy, and Kremer just getting hit hard. And looking at that lineup today, I mean, it's a nice little lineup with lefty Seager, lefty Marmolejos, and Kyle Lewis batting cleanup, and you got Haniger leading off. Any other stacks I like? I had Dodgers, Rockies, Mariners. So now it's going to be Cardinals and Mariners, I guess. My sneaky play at night, I put down as Will Myers. I still like Will Myers. Will Myers crushes lefties. And I said Tyler Anderson's having a pretty decent season also. You look at Anderson's last. This is a guy pitching for Pittsburgh. His last 5 DK games: 18 DK, 22 DK, 14 DK, 10 DK, and 15 DK. That's freaking elite for a Pittsburgh pitcher at only 7K. So especially if you're going to stack the Padres, if you're multi-entering, hedge your lineup and use Tyler Anderson as a pitcher or something. All right, you guys got any cheat sheets updated? Cool. Diaz, GB, definitely Lynch. Problem is with this Diaz, I can sit here like I know a lot about him and try to look up Diaz a little bit. It looks like Lamet was supposed to go. Lamet was only going to go 1 or 2 innings anyways. It looks like this is going to be a bullpen game. So if you get, unless Diaz comes in and starts shutting people down, but if you get 2 innings at Diaz, you do well. 3 innings, consider yourself lucky. So if you're going to spend a 4K, do it on Lynch, or don't do it on anybody, really. Yeah, with Glasnow, Lynch, and getting cards, Padres stacks for cat. Can you do that? I haven't tried it yet. I tried it earlier with Bueller and Glasnow, and I was able to get it in with like a Seattle stack. But Was the question, would you consider a $50 single entry with 90 entries at GPPO or cash game? A cash game. I don't use unless I start seeing like more than 500 entries, and I'll start treating it as a GPP. So I would use cash game pitchers if it's only 90 entries. That was for Stephen Foster. Price picks might have changed with all these delays, but I did have I have Matt Chapman still over at 6.5. I do like Chapman today. I didn't really mention him, but I think Chapman's in a good spot. Still 6.5. Ramon Laureano over a 7. Oh, that's 2 A's, and I gotta give you somebody else. Colin Moran's only 5.5. So, and everybody knows I like Colin Moran. He's a lefty. Miguel Diaz is righty. GPP is getting Moran batting cleanup. We know Moran crushes righties. He can crush Miguel Diaz. So I would take Moran over 5.5 definitely. I'm a Brian Reynolds guy. I love the Pirates for DFS. I'd even take Reynolds over 5.5. But definitely Colin Moran. Anybody else? No, but you know who I would if I'm playing GPPs who's going to be very low owned and I would get him in one is Mike Trout. Trout can handle Glasnow, especially if he's patient. I could definitely see Trout taking Glasnow yard today. So especially, I mean, GPPs, I'll be playing cash. Then we spending $6K for Trout today in the cash game, but I could definitely see Trout low owned today and going yard off Glasnow. Travis Shaw 7, I could see him maybe going over. Diaz and Lynch load up on bats. I mean, hey, if you want, it's GVP, of course. If you multi-entering, especially if you're doing like 20 lineups. I mean, I said, if you get 5 points at Diaz, you're probably lucky. But at 4K, say playing a 4K outfielder, we're happy with 8 to 10 points. Usually 10 points with a 4K outfielder we're happy with. So if you get 10 points out of him, you're doing well. Lynch, we could probably get it because we know he's probably going to go, 3 or 4 innings. And the thing is with the Indians are really struggling this year. And I was just looking at their team slash line. And that's another thing that kind of drew me through Lynch's attention is their slash line is really low. And of course, I just had it in front of me and I don't have it now. But they're right for getting beat today. So I mean, for a kid like Lynch. But also if you're playing Lynch and multi-entry, you need to stack Indian somewhere too, because there's a very good chance this kid gets rocked today too. It's his first game ever in major leagues. And Indians their lineup is waking up a little bit. I mean, I would definitely stack in Ramirez, Reyes. I'm not sure about Eddie Rosario, the lefty, but Hill Ramirez has been 6 today. Guys like Rosario's. I'm telling you though, man, look at this Indians lineup. When you got Harold Ramirez batting 6th, Josh Naylor doesn't hit lefties well, right? Batting 7th. Yu Chang's playing first base, batting 9th. This lineup is right for Daniel Lynch. So take it as it is. Man is going to be the cash play. He's going to be popular. But usually when I see a guy this popular in cash, and that's becoming a small slate here, I had no issues fading it. But man is going to be the safest play, and he's highly owned. His ownership may go on the last update, but still, look at the cheat sheet. He's right now. He's higher owned than Glasnow right now. That all may change. All right. Any other questions? Or how much exposure you have of Toronto, if any, on DK? That's actually one of the better questions we've had because, okay, say if I'm building 20 lineups, I'm probably going to have a Toronto stack in 2, but 2 lineups out of 20 and a 20 max is actually not bad. Montas is going to be fairly popular today. And remember, these Jays can hit. The problem is the Jays are going across the country. They just left Florida. Now they're going to Oakland to a hitter's park. But this is probably the best hitting conditions. It's going to be 7 degrees out there today. The wind blowing out. So it's usually a pitcher's park, but this is probably one of the better hitting environments tonight. So that would actually upgrade Toronto a little bit there. And against Montes, you got guys like Biggio can hit Montes. Biggio's leading off tonight because he's a lefty. Well, there's a lot of Rays not left tonight, huh? only Panic's the only other lefty, Joey Panic. He's actually from my hometown. But Jarrell and Tio can hit him. Gritchuck, you hit him. It's going to be a low own stack, but hey, it's a multi-entry, get him in some. And the latest status on the weather in Philly, the Philly weather, unless it's changed. Let's see if anything news come across. Nothing new. So the latest is there's nothing on the radar. They feel the game's going to start dry, but there's a legit chance they get rained out regardless. GPP dart, cash game or safe play, not a safe play, but you can use it for GPPs. So that's where I'd probably be leaning up, maybe taking Yelich out of my cash lineup. So pretty much Philadelphia and Milwaukee is going to be more GPP plays. I'm not sure if any of you guys are in that area, but anything I'm seeing is it's not raining there yet. So it looks like the Texas-Minnesota game is good for cash. The Mets and St. Louis game is now starting to lean toward good for cash. And the other games were rained out. So with all that, I'd probably lean away from Philadelphia, Milwaukee, and cash tonight and be safer. I don't know if I missed any other questions. Like I said, Cheat Sheet's updated. I saw that about Tommy Edman. DeJong, that's a good call. Chris Duffy, I do like DeJong favor GPPs. All right, I guess that's it. We still got plenty of time. We got 6-705 knock. I'll be on our premium Discord, but once again, $35 a month. You can't beat it right now. We do every sport. I said WNBA is coming up. We're doing that Australian rules football. The guys are winning there. NASCAR. I know I'm missing a sport, but tennis. But if DK covers it, or if Fino covers it, we do it. And no doubt we have the best cheat sheet in the industry. So check us out. Anybody that's new, thank you. We'll be back tomorrow, 6 p.m. And I'll have Corey Hannon with me tomorrow night. I won't be solo. All right, deuces.